Hello, friends. Welcome back to Innovation in Marketing and Marketing of Innovation, and especially to this last session. This is the concluding session. We have gone through a journey of 59 sessions till now. Almost, I should say, it's not almost, 29 and half hours. 29 hours, 30 minutes. So now this is the last half an hour, 29-30 minutes for our interaction on this subject. I hope that I've been able to make a point in front of you with reference to the relevance of innovation in marketing and marketing of innovation, or marketing of innovation through innovation in marketing, and in consonance with each other. I hope that I have been able to put up a perspective, and hopefully you would dwell upon this perspective to think further, to analyze the whole scenario, especially the marketing scenario, with reference to how to be innovative within the framework, or how to change the framework completely, how to rewrite a perspective around the art of marketing, how to focus on making all the innovations successful through, you know again, an enthusiastic zeal around your learning, which we have gone through in terms of marketing of innovations. We have talked about that not every innovation is successful in terms of not being marketed well. So if we somehow dwell upon that, and even if we reduce that by, let's say, 10%, 15%, so we would be changing the complete saying. Actually, they say that 90% do not get successful. We may change the saying to that after we have started dwelling this art of marketing of innovation, then definitely that number has changed from 90% to 70%, 60%, and why not towards zero. That means all the innovations are successful. And that is the objective of this course, that is the perspective around this course, because so many resources around this world, they have been devoted towards innovation, innovative products, innovative services, innovative processes. Everyone is trying to do their bit. This world has gained so much of knowledge, so much of understanding, and we have been dwelling cumulatively towards making it somehow work. And I talked about many things which shouldn't have been there, but that doesn't mean that you know all the things are like that. And many things have made this world definitely a better place. Medical science has developed so much. So many innovations have been done in medical science that today we should be thankful to those people who have devoted their lives for those innovations and brought those innovations to us. We should be thankful to those organizations who have been marketing those innovations, and they have been bringing those innovations to us. And we should be thankful to those people who have actually worked upon innovations in marketing for marketing those innovations in medical science especially. Same with education and education technology. And I have already been, and I am a big fan of NPTEL, and I have been commending these efforts all through, and I have talked about that as an example as well. So education and education technology, we have come a long way, and several other things which definitely are making this world much a better place. So let's try and build this perspective around these kind of thoughts. And to conclude, to summarize, or to reach to a culmination, let me take you towards this journey starting from the last session itself. And let's try and think in terms of, let's visit or revisit things from the last point onwards. Now, if we have analyzed gains and losses and we have seen repercussions, then what should we be doing in terms of, as far as innovation goes, and especially in terms of, you know, bringing innovations on board in terms of innovative products and services, and then utilizing innovation in marketing to market those innovations. Can we start from emphasizing the gain and loss analysis in totality with the help of alternatives as solutions? Can we do that? So if we start backwards and try to minimize few stages from usage of the products or products themselves or processes, we might be starting a journey towards innovation in marketing by emphasizing in front of our customers and the complete, value chain associated, that somehow we can utilize our resources towards different other several productive causes rather than just focusing upon a linear growth in this direction only. So, let's start, you know, thinking about that what innovation can be brought in as far as for present goes. And I hinted upon that through waste management and recycling and those kind of things, and then many scientific innovations which are being done on utilization of so many things which we have extra in this world at this moment. So we have already started that journey. Now, can we direct the acumen of our marketing students, or students at large, to direct their energies towards this and being innovative in this direction, not only through coming through more technology oriented processes, but marketing oriented processes, by making a very strong point in front of this world that this is how we should be looking at this world for a larger gain. Sometimes when I roam around in this great institution, Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, having a legacy of 176 years, and I look at the bright faces around me, thousands in numbers, and the acumen these people have. If you will look at the cumulative intelligence we have around us, I feel like putting them at not everyone, of course, many of them on one or two tasks in association with taking processes towards the betterment of this world, revisiting the processes, revisiting the products, and so on. And those can be the mission statements for several students from the first day of their inception as far as the institutions go. And if cumulatively we do it in, let's say, if I talk about only of IITs more or less, and rest of the several great institutions are there, so 23 IITs and several other great institutions, if we do that in 50 institutions, and the total acumen of several students is being utilized for this kind of a thing, it would be a huge change which we will be trying to bring. So now you see, when we are trying to look at things with this kind of a perspective, one very important thing which comes to our mind is prioritization. We want this earth to be a better place, this world to be a better place, but what should be the first step? And that prioritization must have extreme, sparkling clarity in front of everyone. That should be very, very clear in front of everyone if at all we have to do. For example, if you'll ask me, then my country is my first priority. And whatever I wish to do, I wish to do it for my nation first. And then definitely Mother Earth, whole of this world. So if I, somehow focus upon directing my attention towards my nation as my first priority, then there are several aspects associated with the country which requires my contribution. And when I prioritize that contribution, that definitely would have consonance with my acumen. And that acumen would be utilized somewhere in the complete process of marketing, because that is constituted, that has a structure around product, price, place, promotion, and creating, communicating, and delivering offerings which have value for clients, customers, partners, and society at large, for country at large. And once I start focusing upon that, then the story becomes easier. And once we are reaching to that kind of a stage, prioritization in terms of country, Mother Earth, nature, society, and so on, then somehow when we define this kind of an area, then somehow we can look at everything which we have learned in this course with a very synchronized kind of a perspective, with a very synchronized kind of a view. For example, when priorities are clear, then if I'll look at the complete value chain, value network, and value webs, which we have talked about all through, with this kind of a perspective, the whole scenario would have one unified objective: to contribute for country's development by associating whole of the value network, and at every stage the innovative perspective would traverse itself. I would not elaborate on that, you very well understand what I am talking about, but I am just reminiscing that we started with building up a case around value chain marketing, wherein we proposed, I proposed in front of you, and I referred to so many eminent authors who have been talking about that innovation in marketing is where you start looking at you know things with a very strong value chain and value network perspective. And then you have to look at the benefit of all the value network partners, especially value chain partners, and then advantages to the value networks and growth of this complete network at large. And once we are thinking in terms of growth of the complete network, we are focusing upon, as far as prosperity element associated with, as far as the complete network goes, every participant of the network and their prosperity. But as I said, that our priorities would be clear, so we would be directing every source or resource towards that priority itself. So, innovation in marketing by elevating the complete value chain and network towards the development of the nation would definitely give us a very synchronous kind of a view. If I look at this current scenario, I somehow feel that this is happening around us. There are several schemes and several programs and public policies which are being directed towards that kind of a thing itself. Recently, I was asked by my institution that which of your products are directly affecting the masses on the ground. I was happy to share with them that there are several innovative steps which we have taken in our projects, and several products and processes have been innovated upon, and in the process marketing process is also innovated upon, and that is directly affecting you know the people at the grassroots level. And we were very happy to share with them that this has larger span when we look at it. I shared one of those projects with you in terms of, for example, utilizing forest bioresidue for generating low cost energy. Yesterday only one of my teams, they three of the members, they went to Himalayas to further dwell upon several kinds of innovations which we would be introducing for reviving several kinds of processes traditionally being followed in Himalayas for processing local produce or plants, plant based produce and so on, and even for other purposes. We have been visiting water mills, for example, to refine those processes and to utilize those effectively for enhancing the productivity at that kind of a level. So that is how the complete value chain and value webs, those are to be focused upon. We talked about so many things. I took you towards individual aspects or elements of marketing mix also. We talked about what can be done in terms of products, which is definitely very fascinating when we talk about products in terms of, as far as innovation goes, how innovative we can be in terms of products. But at this stage, and having discussed with you the aspects of what if we did not do something, so the culmination is that whenever we are thinking about the products, just pause, look at the span that product would cover in this form, the advantages that it would bring, and the disadvantages it might bring in terms of the repercussions. Do a complete gain and loss analysis. Weigh that according to the priorities you have. First is country, Mother Earth, and then try and think in terms of going towards that kind of a journey. If you are, if your idea is brilliant and still you are restraining yourself to go towards that journey, you are a very courageous and a brave person, because somehow you know that this idea can fetch you a lot of money, but still you are holding it because somehow you understand that this would not be so good for times to come, environmentally, socially, culturally, and nationally as well. If somehow e-cigarette manufacturers would have thought about that, then things would have been different. If somehow many other manufacturers would have thought about that, things would have been different. And that is, so innovation has to be looked at with this kind of a perspective at the end of the day. We talked about pricing with lots of elements associated with innovations in pricing. And my favorite part, we talked about marketing communication, innovation in marketing communication with that kind of a perspective. You see, communication innovation has come a long way, and we have talked about that. We talked about distribution innovation basically, and we talked about several kinds of examples and so on. And then the kind of concept which we tried to build around concentricity of one of these and dwelling upon other elements, that is an important thing which I uh, want you to recall at this moment and revisit those videos. Because when we look at the concentric value of one of these elements of marketing mix, then we realize that innovation can be initiated from any part for that matter and can traverse towards all other aspects, collating everything. So it happens in case of the complete value chain also. It can start from any part of the value chain, and so it can happen in terms of value network also. It can happen at any point of value network and traverse concentrically from that concentric points towards all the points and elevating them as far as meaningfully. The whole meaning is derived out of that kind of a process. So concentric aspect. Now onwards, whenever you are looking at innovation in marketing, especially marketing as set of institutions, activity and processes, as the definition says, try to look at the concentric value of that innovation. How far it would go as far as the radius goes, how it would be including other aspects within its sphere. And that is what we have to monitor, and that is what we have to visualize, in fact, should I say. If I am conceiving a product, so how it would be reaching, and especially if that product is directed towards betterment of this world, as I said, the priority is country and Mother Earth, then how it would be reaching to those kind of people. As I always say, and this morning also we were discussing in one of my classes in masters in innovation management, that if people who are associated with the health and healthcare and let's say pharmaceutical industry and those kind of things, they understand that the purpose of their being is the health of the people, then they would develop a concentric element around innovation, wherein if they start from product, their main objective would be reaching everyone. How it would be how it would happen, that depends upon their intelligence and them being innovative. Actually, you see, all of them, all of us are having large intelligence around us, so definitely they can do that. So purpose, concentricity, value networks. Now we are moving with keywords, and these are emerging as keywords at large. Now slightly let me take you towards as far as marketing of innovation goes. So last quite a few hours we have spent on thinking in terms of how to market innovations. we have been talking about in terms of different elements, difficulties, strengths of innovation to be marketed, and then adaptation cycles, and how people would receive some innovation, and why do not they wish to, why do people hesitate to change in terms of their products, or their surroundings go, and then how to make them do that. But again, if we start looking at this element, I would honestly suggest marketing definitely can, bring huge changes. Marketing is a big influencer. But when we are going for marketing of innovation, then definitely we must pause, and we must realize our strength, that we will make this happen. We have that kind of a methodology. We have discussed that as well in this course, and many authors have written about it. But we must pause before going for that journey. That if we will start doing that, and it starts influencing people, and they start adopting products, what would happen? So let's look at the bigger picture at that juncture, and then start the efforts basically, and then start thinking in terms of how to make people adaptive of the innovation which you are bringing in. As far as you see, we did so much of efforts in people adapting plastic packaging, plastic bottles. We made it happen basically. Marketing did that. Should marketers, if they would have thought of at that particular kind of stage, then probably things would have been different. Probably they might have decided at that stage only, and they would have talked to their production teams that okay, for a while we are going for this, but in the meanwhile please bring in some substitution and alternative. Because ultimately all of us, we are thinking in terms of substitution and alternatives when we are thinking in terms of innovations in marketing and marketing of innovations. We do that. Why we didn't think in terms of substitution and alternative in case of plastics and plastic packaging and so on? We should have done that. And that is the one of the most important elements, that at this juncture, pause and think about it. We have been commending several kinds of efforts. We have been talking about organizations not being so successful. We have been talking in terms of flexibilities in positioning. We have been talking in terms of what happens in case of the product life cycle of such kind of products which are innovative, and we have been talking in terms of how to drive the product life cycle of a product, how branding is associated with that, and how by being flexible in positioning would help us in rejuvenating product life cycle at every kind of a stage, which might be slightly complex at this moment, but in this technology driven world we can manage that. We have been talking about how AI and digitalization is helping us all through as far as the whole scenario goes, and we have sort of reached to a stage wherein we are unable to think about the support of AI in digitalization. Although in my last segment I sort of questioned few things in terms of the whole digitalization process is going on. I never questioned in terms of the software acumen of digitalization process. I was slightly skeptical in terms of the kind of technology which we are using, and I just mentioned that should we be taking a pause and looking at things with this kind of a perspective, that can we bring some alternatives and substitutions in terms of developing hardware, or have we generated enough hardware to hold for a while. I understand as a professor of marketing and strategy that processes cannot be stopped so easily, because those are business processes, and you just can't tell organizations to stop their production for a while until this the next round of demand is rationally felt. But then large organizations, they are very much in capacity and capability of being innovative enough for utilizing the same processes for different kinds of products. That can be done, and then we have seen several such kinds of examples. There are several stories that one organization manufacturing different kinds of products at different parts of times and so on. So we have that kind of innovative capability and capacity around us at this moment, but it's a matter of being in consonance with each other all the times. And that is what we have to do. You see, as I said, as keywords, value networks, this is one of the major keywords uh, which we are finding around us at this moment. What is that we are doing in terms of communication within those networks? How effective communication is being generated within those networks? How, what kind of a synchronization we are bringing in as far as value networks go? And are we on the same plane, being part of the same network? Are we on the same plane that our purpose is actually the same, you know, making this world a better place and earning gains and having profitability and reducing losses for us, for everyone? So if we are, on the same page, in consonance with each other on these kind of points, then definitely innovation would have larger meaning, and especially innovation in marketing would be realized. You see, at the end of the day, we can always say that we have to be innovative in marketing and we have to revisit the processes. We have to work hard for marketing of innovation. But can we say at this particular stage that innovation in marketing and marketing of innovation is all about generating a meaning for everything we have around, supporting sustainability, definitely making everyone happy at the end of the day? And you see, making this world a happy, healthy, wonderful place is what we should desire for. That is what we are living for. That is what we are worried about. We always say, what next generations would say about us. I wish to play that role. I'm trying to do that individually. I'm trying to inculcate that feeling amongst the students associated with me at every stage, bachelor's, master's, and even doctorate. We are trying to do that research here. I'm personally, individually trying to put up all my efforts towards those projects which would have larger meaning for my country, society, and for Mother Earth at large. And I have defined few key words for myself, and I'm trying to meaningfully get associated with those keywords. The keywords for me and for rest of my life are Jal, Jungle, and Himalaya. I wish to live my life for water, forests, and Himalayas. I leave you with this message, and I wish you to please revert back on anything and everything which comes to your mind about this journey which you have gone through with me. I enjoyed it and hope you have also enjoyed it. I would be seeing you in some other course, some other day. Till then, goodbye.